I'm Bob Jensen, this is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. Ice fishing is in full swing everywhere in the Midwest. Today we're going to get together with Tony Roach and Gary Roach on Lake Mille Lacs. We're going to be chasing perch. Tony and Gary are going to show some of their best tips for catching perch. After that, we're going to Wisconsin to join Patrick Sheehan for some early season crappie action. First though, let's get in the ice and catch some perch. We always hear so much about the fast fishing provided by early ice. And while it's true that early ice can be very good, the fishing can be just as good later on.
There's one. Nice fish.
More and more, late February and March are becoming very popular for ice fishing. The action for perch, crappies, bluegills, and where permitted, walleyes can be outstanding. Today we're going to get together with a couple of ice fishing experts on Lake Mille Lacs in central Minnesota for a day of light ice perch action. They'll share some ideas that will enable you to catch more perch through the ice in the next few weeks. Tony Roach is developing a reputation as one of the top anglers in the Midwest. He's on the water during the spring, summer, and fall, and he's on the ice as long as there's ice. Tony has taught himself much about fishing, but he's also learned a great deal, as have all of us, from our other partner in the ice today. Gary Roach is Tony's great uncle. Gary is a true pioneer in the world of fishing. He's fished almost everywhere for almost everything. I consider myself so fortunate to have known and fished with Gary a bunch down through the years. We hit the ice, and it wasn't long before Tony had a perch on the line.
There we go, there's one. Boy, they love that macho minnow spoon. Oh, wrapped around my transducer. There we go. Again, that fish just inhaled it.
Tony is an advocate of trolling on the ice. That may sound strange, but it really makes a lot of sense. When you're trolling in a boat, you're constantly on the move looking for fish. Trolling on the ice is the same thing. You're constantly on the move, looking for fish. Tony pops a bunch of holes in an area that he suspects will hold perch, then he and his group move from hole to hole. You fish a hole for a couple of minutes. If you see fish, you stick around. If you don't, you move to the next hole. Here's Tony's explanation of how trolling for perch on the ice is different from trolling for walleyes on the ice.
For walleyes, I'm systematically drilling along structure, you know. Like, I think, for instance, last time we were out with wheelers. I'd kind of mark out the break with my GPS, then drill a zigzagged hole, but there was really a method to that madness. I'm kind of following the contours of the break pretty definedly and right along with my GPS and obviously my waypoints. Whereas these perch, you know, they're just roaming around out in this transition area. So yes, I'm using my handheld. I'm finding where those, you know, sharp gravel or rock meets sand. It's just kind of where those contour lines start to smooth out, and then it's just drill, drill, drill until we find an area like we have where you've got what I call a Christmas tree or a school of perch, and then it's narrowing down your search and just drilling lots of holes right in that location.
How you work your lure can have a big impact on how many fish you catch. Here's what Tony's doing to catch perch today. Tony, are you working that spoon pretty aggressively?
Yeah, you know, I drop it down, I keep it high. A lot of times if the school's in the area, they're gonna see that jig, and a lot of time they erupt off the bottom even before it gets down close to the bottom. There we go. There, nice fish, Bob.
Tony, what's the deal? We drill all these holes and you get on, I mean, just some holes produce. Is that typical?
That's right. I mean, really all these fish are doing is they're roaming out here. It's not so much basin, it's not so much, you know, structure. It's just kind of a sand transition in here, and we're using these macho minnows today because they've got a lot of high flare, high flicker, and because when these fish are just roaming, we're just drilling kind of, I don't want to say random holes, but we're drilling a lot of holes kind of zigzagging through here, and as these fish cruise, they see something flash, flare, I keep the jig up high, and it just drives that school right into this spot, you know.
Oh yeah, oh this is a good one here. This is a good one. I don't know what this is. I thought a muskie had a hold of him. Oh, it's a pig. It's a pig. Look at here. Oh.
Whoa,
Tony.
look at that one.
Unbelievable, buddy.
Jeepers.
Jeepers, creepers, look at this. Kind of listen to Tony, you know, he's the old perch guru, you know. Put a little bigger spoon on for bigger fish. Look at that. Man, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Good, buddy. Good job, man.
The perch are biting. When we come back, we'll catch some more. Stay tuned. The Fishing the Midwest fishing team uses and appreciates the efforts of these people. Evinrude, spend more time on the water. Northland Fishing Tackle, the fisherman's favorite. Cabela's, celebrating 50 years as the world's foremost outfitter. Powerbait, fish bite and won't let go.